Today we're looking at some trigonometry. We're looking at the sine, cosine, and tangent function. There's actually 6 different things that you need to know. First of all, you need to know that the sine is the opposite over the hypotenuse. The cosine is going to be the adjacent over the hypotenuse. And then the tangent is going to be the opposite over the adjacent. Now, the other 3 things that you need to know is where your position of your x is at. If the x is on top, so an example, x over 100, and then over here you have something that's equal to x over 100. If the x is on top, then you're going to multiply both sides by the bottom number. So I multiply this side by 100 and multiply this side by 100. So, for example, you would have 100 times the sine of 72 is equal to x. If you do 100 times the sine of 72, you don't have to do anything special with your calculator. But if you do sine of 72 times 100, then you have to put the 72 in parentheses. So the sine parentheses 72, close your parentheses, times 100 is equal to x if you put it in the calculator that way. But if you put 100 times the sine of 72 is equal to x, there's nothing special you have to do. Next thing, if the x is on the bottom, so the sine of something is equal to 4 over x. If the x is on the bottom, then you switch these two around. Switch. So you're going to have x is equal to 4 over the sine of whatever. Okay? So that's 2. And then the third way is if the x is your degree. So the sine of x is equal to 10 over 15. Then what you're going to do is you're going to put in your calculator, you'll put in the second button, and then you'll put in the sine button, and then make that equal, and then put in 10 over 15 times 10 over 15. So all depending on where your x is going to be is which way you would use these. So on the first problem, if you take a look, you have your eyeball here, which is 72 degrees. Straight across from that is going to be opposite, and there's nothing there, so you don't have an opposite. Straight across from the right angle is your hypotenuse, and straight across, and then the only thing left is adjacent. So the formula is you have the adjacent and the hypotenuse, so adjacent and hypotenuse is going to be the cosine. So the cosine of 72 degrees is going to equal, and then you got to put it in the right order, adjacent over the hypotenuse. So adjacent is 6 in this problem, and the hypotenuse is x. X is on the bottom, so because x is on the bottom, you're going to switch these two around. So this is going to read x is equal to 6 over the cosine of 72. So then you get your calculator and you say 6 divided by the cosine of 72. And you get 19.4 as an answer. So 19.4. So this side would be 19.4. This side, x, would be 19.4.